If you've ever wanted more engagement with your Instagram Reels, there are definitely a few tricks you can use to help elevate it. And it really does come down to the types of Reels that you're producing. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about some easy Reel ideas for better engagement. For those of you who are new to this channel, my name is Kaylee June and I'm a beauty and fashion photographer based near Sydney, Australia. But recently in the last couple of years, I decided to start this channel as I'm also a content creator and I love talking about all things content creation, freelancing, business, and social media. So as some of you may already know, I do have a presence on social media. However, I have started a fairly new presence on Instagram in the last year or so, and I've had to start my travel content creation from scratch. And this is over at my Kaylee Journeys account on Instagram. So I've been doing a lot of trial and error over the past year to help build my following, to help build the engagement on my account. And I really want to share a couple of the ideas for Reels that I've found have really worked in the past, or some Reels that I've actually observed from others who have created in this space, and really go into detail about why some of these Reels would be so good to help spark a little bit more engagement on your own accounts. So we're going to get straight into talking about these ideas today, and let's get into it. Now, most of the Reels ideas that I'm going to talk about today are very generalized. So even though I mentioned that I do travel content creation on my own Instagram, a lot of these ideas I'm going to be talking about today will actually apply to many different genres and many different niches. So don't worry too much if you're feeling like this might be too geared towards travel, because it is not. And we are going to talk very generally about some of these ideas. And the first idea that I'm going to mention is actually a really easy one, and it's one that I feel everyone should do on Instagram, and it's an introduce yourself reel. So this type of reel idea is all about being relatable and really finding other people in your niche or in your category of interest that you really want to reach out to. But more so, it's about putting yourself out there and really getting other people to resonate with you in this particular reel. Now, like I said, this reel is a very easy idea and it's a really simple one to actually create, and all it involves doing is actually having just a looping one frame reel where you can add text over the top and properly introduce yourself. So in my instance, I would say something along the lines of, "Hi there, my name is Kaylee," and then I would really go into depth about some of my interests, what I really enjoy doing, maybe in a little bit of life experience thrown in, and what some of my weaknesses are and what some of my strengths are and what I want to aim for in my life. So especially when it comes to keywords as well, I would definitely be integrating into the captions as well as into the text of the reel. Words like photographer, travel, hiking, outdoors, all of those kinds of words really help reach the right people. And the next reel idea that I'm going to talk about is exactly the same with this. So it's really important to remember is actually using keywords like that, because that's becoming a more prominent thing on Instagram now to help people find the content that they want. As I said, it's all about really relating to the audience here. So you want to make sure that you're kind of pulling maybe a couple of heartstrings or really resonating with other people in some way in the introduce yourself reel. So for example, you might even want to talk about a struggle that you've had. So for example, maybe you are in a 9-to-5 job and you don't want to be in a 9-to-5 job. You want to be a full-time content creator. You can talk a little bit about that in your introduce yourself reel and really find those other people out there who are interested in following along with your content, or maybe they're just trying to do the same thing and it really resonates with them. I think this is a really important reel to do because there's so many different angles you can take with it, and at the end of the day, it's really all about relating to people. So hopefully whoever you get to actually have their eyes on this reel will be really like-minded to you and will hopefully help you start that little bit of a community, or just finding those like-minded people on Instagram that you really want to for your own niche. You'll definitely be more likely to get engagement with these types of reels as well, because people will be interested to hear a little bit more about yourself, and especially if you're resonating with other people and really being relatable, I think that will definitely start conversations with other people. And I've seen this happen time and time again on Instagram. Some of these introduce yourself reels really do blow up, and it's a great way to get the right kind of audience that you want. Now, the next reel is really similar, but it's a little bit of a fishing kind of reel, I like to call it. So it's basically a connect me with reel. Now, what I mean by this is you would potentially start off the text in the reel as saying something along the lines of talking about primarily the Instagram algorithm. So you could say something like, "Okay, Instagram algorithm, do your thing. thing. Connect me with other people who love, and then insert keywords here. So for example, in my instance, on the reel that I did, I talked about traveling, outdoors, hiking, and photography, and talked about my interests that way. And the fact that I wanted to make friends and really find more like-minded people who also loved doing those kinds of things. So this is a really good way, again, to help build a little bit of community and to find that right audience for you on Instagram and to find people in your own niche. Again, it's a really easy reel to create. You can just do it on a looping one frame reel. I really like the idea of, with this particular reel and the first reel that I spoke about as well, maybe having a human element in there. So maybe having a video of yourself in some form or another. You don't necessarily have to show your face, but I think that it's a really good way to add that little bit, like I said, of a human element into the video and really help resonate with people even more. But I really love this connect me type of reel as well. Again, I've seen reels like this really blow up on Instagram, and it's been really fantastic for a lot of the content creators who have done these reels and had them blow up, because it has given them access to that audience that they absolutely want to reach. You're really targeting those people, and you get to start conversations with people as well in the comments, which I really think is nice. And again, it's going to give you that little bit more engagement. So I actually recently did one of these reels and I really did get a lot of engagement. It was primarily comments. A lot of the engagement was really comments, and it was so good to actually talk to other people in my own niche and have them follow me and me follow them, and a really great way to start building a little community. Now, the next idea is not necessarily a singular reel per se, but it is a series of reels. So for example, if you want to start a series where you potentially do one reel a week or one reel every now and then in this particular group of reels, this is a really good way to help get a lot more saves on your content and to really build that engagement even more. So for example, I actually have a series of reels going at the moment where I talk about my top 50 things to do in New Zealand. And I'm actually posting a reel for every single one of those 50 things and showing a video behind it and text basically saying something like, number 1, go to Milford Sound, number 2, visit Fergburger in Queenstown, etc, etc. So I'm still going with this particular series, but it's a really great way not only to build a little bit more engagement and get saves, which I've found this type of content really does help me get saves, which is actually still considered engagement and really helpful for the Instagram algorithm to push your content out even more. But I also find it's a really easy thing to do and to remember to do, because trying to think of new content all the time can be tiring and can be really tedious. So I actually find this is really easy. If I don't know what to post or I'm struggling to think of ideas during the month, I can easily film a reel as part of this series and I don't have to think too much about it. Now, number 4 could be a little bit more controversial, but it's really talking about a hot take that you might have or a controversial topic, as I mentioned. So this helps to really spark engagement, because if you're talking about something that's a little bit controversial or putting a really strong opinion out there, you will get people likely commenting to either agree with you or disagree with you. But it's another way to get a hook into your content, into your reels, and really help get people engaging with your content. I haven't personally done too many of these reels, but I can absolutely see how they do work on Instagram. And I've definitely seen a lot of these reels blow up on Instagram because it really does spark that conversation in particular niches or amongst certain people. And I think that it's still a really good thing to factor in when you're thinking about your reels. And then the last reel idea is to talk about a shout out to insert blank here. So I have done one of these reels before, and I posted a reel saying shout out to all of the people who never grew up doing hiking or outdoorsy things, but now they're adults, it's become an obsession. Because realistically for me, that was pretty much my life. I didn't really grow up doing a lot of outdoorsy kind of stuff, in the sense that I was never like a really serious hiker, or I never really did a lot of that kind of stuff. I was definitely a homebody, or more of a homebody at that period of my life. But then as I've grown up and then as I've become an adult, I really enjoy doing it now and really wanted to kind of engage with other people that had had a similar experience. And I think there's a lot of people out there that did. So I definitely feel like these kinds of reels are really great, again, for relating to people in your niche or to finding people who are really like-minded to yourself. I think it's a great way to build engagement, because you'll definitely get people likely agreeing with you or saying, oh my God, this is so me. And I definitely have experienced this too, something like that. So I definitely feel that this is the kind of reel that can help resonate with other people. And again, it's just another good hook to kind of get people into reading text on your reel. All of these reels can be quite simple and easy to do, and a lot of them do involve just one frame in the background and then a bit of text on the reel. But really just think about what you're saying and who you want to attract to your account. account as well, because that's really important. Really know your niche and really know who the kind of people that you want to attract as an audience. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video today on some easy reel ideas for Instagram and for better engagement. Let me know down in the comments section below if you've got any easy reel ideas for engagement as well, because I'd be really happy to hear them. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, and if you haven't subscribed to this channel already, make sure you do, because I'll be posting a lot more in future. Also, let me know in the comments what you want to see on my channel. If you want to see more videos about Instagram and the algorithm, or reels in particular, definitely let me know down in the comments. But thank you so much for watching this video today, and I'll see you in the next one.